watching this guy. He had a vid on one world currency, and how realizing how each different country, I don't know if the individual people, all the individual people say, oh yeah, I love this currency because his picture's on it or her picture's on it or this place is depicted. And all the rich people are depicted. But anyway, if it was to go to a world currency, in a comment I left there, that it could be a picture of the Earth from space. And each, say you have 7 different views of Earth showing the 7 different continents. That way the Earth would be pictured and the continent would be centered in the Earth, and that way each, it wouldn't be a country individualized, which would be bad for the global. If you was to try to combine all the flags into one, or combine, each individual countries have its identity, which countries after, say you go a couple hundred years and this country changes and you have this freaking monetary system that has a flag on it or some depiction of that country, it wouldn't be right. But you have a picture of Earth centered on a continent, and that would be more acceptable. People could say, yeah, I live here. And you could also, and everybody all over the planet, people would have, it wouldn't just be your continent on the dollar bill or whatever you want to call it. You'd have, there'd be like, it'd take 7 different dollars to show all the different continents. It would be 1 continent per dollar. So, and it would be in a 3D view. So it'd look like the Earth hovering above the dollar bill as you look at it in your hand. So it'd be kind of cool to look at. It'd be hard to it'd be hard to counterfeit. And you could also show the oceans, the different oceans and seas. So you could have, for like, say, $1 bill, you would have, I don't know, 15 different pictures of Earth centered on, one would be centered on a continent, and this continent and that continent, and one of the 7 continents in it. And then you'd have also the oceans and seas represented. So you'd look at this and say, wow, yeah, you know what? We have also water on this planet. It's not just land. So with all the pollution and stuff, it'd be an ecological and combined with economical. I don't know. I think, if they ever did, instead of throwing a big giant raven on the front and having a Earth in its beak, it would be cooler and be more peaceful to show Earth as a continent and not under the oppression of some sort of carnivorous or human indention, which it is, but it'll still exist unless everybody places an atomic warhead into the planet and they blow it to dust, which it might reform anyway without us, but who knows? It doesn't really matter. But it is under our oppressionistic rule, but we could, instead of having it under pressure all the time under a beak, and people would be claiming the curves of the beak or the edge of the beak, the sharpness of the beak or the point of the beak or the top of the beak or the top of the head of the raven or whatever. It would just be a picture of Earth instead of all the oppressionistic view. Oh, that's kind of a shortened opinion without conversation on what I would think a global dollar or whatever you want to call it would look like.